going on, guys? So today we're going to do a quick video on a few upgrades, basically retrofitting all of my SSDs and NVMEs with heat sinks, the thick and thin ones. We're also going to be installing a 2.5 gigabyte NIC card into Goose. We're going to discuss a little bit about that upgrade, how we're going to use the 2.5 gigahertz card for faster file transfers from the other plotting stations, as well as adding new SSDs and NVMEs into the plotting stations to get ready for the Mad Max. All right, on with the upgrades. Okay, so here we are in the server room. It's a bit loud, so I may have to dub over this if it's too loud and annoying, but we'll see how the audio comes out after this. So essentially what we're going to be doing today is in Viper, we're going to be adding a 512 SSD to this PCIe card. We might be adding another one to this slot here, to have two 1 terabytes and two 512 SSDs. And in Goose, we're potentially going to be doing, we're going to be removing that single slot NVMe, that's a 1 terabyte. We're going to be replacing this with a dual slot with a 512 SSD, as well as we might be adding a 2.5 gigahertz and network card, and also we may be adding more storage here. So we'll be replacing this location here with different storage bays, which I'll show you guys up above. Alright, so what we have here is a bunch of NVMe and SSDs that we're going to be putting on heat sinks, as well as installing into these double, bracket NVMe / SSD PCIe containers. So this one already has 1 terabyte that's been installed on it. We're going to do that. We're going to install the heatsink on this 1 terabyte. These are two 512 SSDs. We're going to install them both into here, and then we're going to contemplate on maybe shucking these drives and installing them into Goose, which is over there. However, that may be for another video. I am not sold on this Chia thing just yet. Okay, so as I indicated before in my other videos, we want to make sure that we take off the plastic cover here, or the sticker, because we want to have direct contact with the heatsink. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove the plastic from all of these SSDs, and then we're going to install the NVMEs here. So here's another one, and here is another one. Stickers. There we go. So you can see that it's a lot cleaner, and once we install the heatsink, it's going to have perfect contact. So this is a 512 and this is a 512. Both of these are SSDs. And the reason why I got these SSDs is because this container has an NVMe and an SSD slot. So in order to maximize the spacing here, I was going to have to get some SSDs, which I got these for relatively cheap. So that's pretty good. All right, so on these two, I believe we're going to be installing, this is so I'm going to go ahead and install one of these. Let's see. No, I'm going to be installing the bigger ones on here. So go ahead and do the larger heat sinks for the 512s. Got 2 large heat sinks. So first things first, take this piece off and install it on here. Okay, it's as easy as that. Now we just put these on and that's the end of it. There that is, and one more over here. Perfect. So that's a 1 terabyte NVMe and a 512 SSD. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing here. So again, 1 gigabyte 512, 1 gigabyte 512. So those are good to go. We have the 4 10 terabyte hard drives installed here, plus a 256 gig NVMe SSD in here. The OS hard drive is installed underneath here. And what we're thinking of doing is installing an additional cage here and one more cage here. However, that would require us to have a PCI slot SATA expansion because we currently only have 2 available slots. One of those slots is going to be taken up by using this SSD and having to connect this SATA into the SATA port here. So we've got the 1 terabyte and the 512 that are going to install down here, and it's going to utilize one of the ports for the SATA connection. So retrofitting this with more hard drives is going to be easy. What we're going to do is essentially we're going to install this just like we did with this one here. We're going to install it in the front here. We're not going to be able to use the drive cage connectors because it'll hit the 3070s. However, we will be able to install the drives into the front here. So this will give us an additional 4 drives here. Plus we have the ability to install an additional cage here, which gives us an additional 4 drives on here. This is going to be installed right here. So those drives are going to be installed vertically, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one's going to be installed horizontally, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to go something like this, and we'll be able to have 5 plus 4 is 9, plus an additional 4 is 13. So we're going to be able to have 13 hard drives in here, all closed up in one casing, which is going to be really cool. Although I'm not completely sold on Chia yet, so I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and buy all these drives. It seems kind of like a waste. So for now, what we're going to do is we're going to install this, and we're going to install the 2.5 gigabyte Ethernet card, which we'll show you in a second. Okay, so this is the 2.5 gigahertz Ethernet adapter that we're going to be using. It's going to go right in the slot here. One of the issues that we're going to have by installing this is we only have a PCI lane free to do a SATA expansion. So we've got one PCI, I think that's 8X, available in here. And if I'm going to do a SATA expansion, I'm gonna need it to be another 8 ports. So having 8 ports would be able to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 drives on the PCIe Express lane. However, I don't know if I'm gonna do that because that's a lot of money, and I do not think that Chia is going to be rendering anybody the return on investment anytime soon. So I'm gonna do the 2.5 gigahertz NIC upgrade, and we're going to see how that works. Now, unfortunately, we're going to be waiting on, I need to wait on the router because that you need to upgrade, as well as I need to wait on the upgrade this Ethernet cable to a Cat6A Ethernet cable. All right, so we have the 2.5 gig NIC installed, as well as the 512 SSD and the 1 terabyte NVMe that are connected to this SATA connection. We still have 1 port left, and we're going to wait to see how Chia goes before we install the next 2 drive bays filled with hard drives. So now we got to get it back into the server rack and boot her up. So here, I'm going to shut down Viper and install the new SSDs. Install these 2 inside here. Got this already connected. So once it shuts down, I'll be able to install this pretty quickly.
Okay, so that was a pretty cool upgrade all around. We were able to do some decent upgrades here. We added a couple of 512 SSDs to my network, and on my full node I now have all of this set up. So we added a 2.5 gigabyte network adapter, which we're gonna soon do a full upgrade, and I'll do a video on how I'm going to be utilizing that 2.5 gigabit adapter on my main node, which is the full node. We added a 512 gigabyte SSD M.2 on there. We already had the 1 terabyte NVMe. We already had the 240 gig SSD cache drive, which was in another one of my videos, as well as the 10 terabyte drives in there. That also includes the 2 RTX 3070 GPUs and the 8-core 4.5 gigahertz CPU. My main plotters as well, this will be plotting, but my other main plotters are my i7-5820K 12-core, my 3930K 12-core, which we upgraded both RAMs to have more RAM on there. Both of them have the 1 terabyte NVMe's, as well as the 1 terabyte that's in my gaming computer and my GPU. So we got 6 RTX 3070s in that Maverick, 4 in Viper, 2 in Goose, and my 1 2060 Super here. So pretty cool. We've got a ton of space now. Hopefully pools will be coming, and we'll be able to actually start plotting with pool API. Once that's done, I'm going to do a couple of videos on the new Fury Road software that allows you to plot significantly faster, and hopefully this configuration will be good enough to basically fill up the 46. I have 46 gigs. I have another 6 terabyte drive sitting around, so we got 46 terabytes plus an additional 2 terabytes that are unopened, and I'm not too sure if I'm gonna fill that whole Goose chassis with drives. I could put in another 8 in there, but I'm not so sure that Chia is going to be worthwhile. But anyways, thanks for coming by. Keep the comments coming. I love it. It makes me feel like people are actually caring about this, and I will Chia later.